everybody. Okay, sorry about this really messy, disgusting sink. This is my vessel sink over here. You can see that's the vessel sink, nice and dirty. And this is my faucet. A lot of people have a faucet like this. I noticed there was a ton of water on the counter, and it was coming from here. You can also see that I've got water leaking over here. So not only do we have water leaking from probably the 2 gaskets that are in there, in the cartridge, I believe there's a cartridge in here. First time doing this, but we'll do it together. But since it's leaking up here, I'm assuming the cartridge is already broken or it's leaking for some reason. So, we have a cap over here, and I need to get this cap off. I don't want to break my nail. I have my nails for my guitar. But I'm going to go and try to pry a screwdriver in there, make sure you don't jam that thing into your finger. I believe this has to come off. And then I believe we have to put an Allen wrench in here from what I saw from the company. So I think it's a 2.5 millimeter Allen wrench. We'll find out in a minute. It's going to have to be long enough to be able to get into here. Then we're going to remove this cover. And I think there's a screw in there. We'll remove the screw, or maybe we just pull the whole cartridge out. And then after that, I don't know what I'm going to do. I really don't know. If it's the washers, I should be able to find washers at the store. If it's the cartridge, hopefully there's a number on there so I can buy the cartridge. But that is the faucet that we're dealing with. I'm sure somebody out there has one of these. If my video helps you, thumbs up, subscribe, like, share, leave a comment. If you want to donate to my PayPal for this wonderful tutorial, I will gladly accept donations. And what else is there? Check out my video links in the video descriptions. They're Amazon affiliate links. If you click on them before you buy, it will help me out. So I'm going to go remove this now somehow. Then I'll come back and tell you how I did it. And, you know, I really should replace this whole thing, but I don't want to spend the money because I'm cheap. Just like everyone that's watching this that doesn't want to hire a plumber. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Make sure you turn off your water. You're going to need to do that, or you're going to have a huge mess on your hands. I already have a phone call into the plumber, but I thought maybe I can do this on my own and make a video to help somebody else. So I have a flat screwdriver. Let's see if we're watching this together. Okay. So you don't want to take the screwdriver and jam it in there and stick it through your finger and then end up in the ER. So I'm going to try to rock back and forth. My advice, don't do what I'm doing. Cover your sink, cover your drain, so that you can make sure this doesn't fall down there. If this falls down, then I'm going to have even more problems. Look at all the dirt that's coming off of this. Pretty nasty. At least the water shut off. We got a massive amount of dirt in here. Lots of dirt. Water dirt. No corrosion, but there's a lot of dirt in there. So now I'm going to go get my metric wrenches, and I'm hoping if I can get this thing done, if I can at least find out what's in there, I can probably go to the store and order one of these, or order it on the internet, and then I can cancel the plumbing thing, which was $100 probably. Here we are back again. I live in a condo. I really don't like to do any plumbing in here just because of liability reasons. If I flood the place, I'm kind of screwed. This is a long wrench. That's an M4. I live in the U.S., so we don't use this silly metric garbage. Okay, so it's the one smaller than an M4. If this doesn't want to come out, then I'm done, and I'll just let the plumber deal with breaking everything. So it's the one smaller than M4. Maybe it's an M3. Let's put this thing in here. I don't want my arm to block the view. Well, that's kind of weird. That's not what it's... I think the screw's supposed to come out. I don't think this is supposed to happen. Maybe the screw is corroded. Maybe... No, that's supposed to happen. Look at that. That's kind of weird. Is that what's... Let me pound on this thing and see if the screw's going to come out. No, it's just one piece. Okay, so you can see how filthy that is. If this works, then I'll clean everything up. If it doesn't work, oh boy. Now I hope this thing comes off. And if this comes off, then underneath here, let's see, what are we looking at in the video? Because I really want you to be able to see it. I just bought some really nice lighting, but I don't have it set up for this video, because I don't think we need it. So let's take this off now. That comes off. So far we've removed the, what do we have? Let me turn this so I can see. We've removed this piece just now, and before we removed this piece. with the 2.5 or the M3 or whatever it is, and we remove this cover. I think that's in focus. So now we have to remove, okay, so this is good. This is a standard, there's no screw in the top of here, but I guess that's okay. There's a ton of water up on here. We need to remove this so we can pull out the cartridge. And hopefully, oh wow, am I lucky, it just came off. Some plumbers torque things down and, oh, look at all that water. Oh, do I have a little cloth? I don't want to pick up the cloth on the ground. Just came back from walking the dog and it's kind of messed up. I had to clean her up a little bit. So we've got this. Now I'm hoping this thing just comes out without having to use a wrench, but I'm probably going to have to use a wrench on here. Can I pull this thing out? I can't pull this out. So we have a Hexy Schmexy Malexi over here, and I'm going to need to get, you can probably use, I would use channel locks. Channel locks will definitely do this. If this thing's torqued down, then I'm really in big trouble. I'm glad I've got the water off. This needs to come out, though. This has to come out so that I can pull out this cartridge. And you can use, there it is. So we remove that thing. Now we have the thread, and you can see here's the hex part over here. And we need to be able to remove this. I would love to just be able to pull this thing out, but it looks like it's being held in by this. So you can use whatever you need to, an open-end wrench or what is the adjustable wrench, or if you have a socket thing that's big enough to go on this thing, a deep socket, or channel locks or whatever you need. So I'm going to try to loosen that after I find a wrench. These are channel locks if you don't know what channel locks are. Let's see, is that showing in the video? Yeah. So the advantage of channel locks is they have a little grip on them, so they'll be able to bite, but you don't want to spin it around this thing because you could ruin the outer flat piece that you'd want to put an adjustable wrench on if you need to. So hopefully whoever installed this did not torque it down. Nothing else has been torqued down. And I, again, don't know if this is going to work. I'm just hoping that this wasn't put on too tight. And with the channel locks, what you do is you adjust them so that they're big enough to fit on. Oh, man, am I lucky. You just saw how easy that was. A nice little simple turn. So whoever put this in did not torque anything down. I'm very lucky. Maybe that's why it's leaking. So now we're going to take this piece out, and then that cartridge should come out. And after that, we're going to see where the damage is. What I want to do before I do that, I want to look on here. We have a number 8 in the front. I should be able to figure out what direction this goes in and out of, but hopefully this just comes out. Okay, maybe not. Okay, some water's starting to leak out of the drain now. This is what I did not want to deal with. I didn't want to deal with any... Oops, almost broke the sink there. I didn't want to deal with any problems. Do I have to unscrew this? I just want this to come out without problems, and it doesn't want to come out. And that is not good. That is definitely not good. Does this screw in? Do I have to turn it? I'm turning it now. Turning it clockwise, counterclockwise. What am I doing? This is the bad part. It's not coming out. And I don't know if it should just turn. I put a wrench on here to try to remove it. It didn't want to come out, so I'm in trouble. Of course this would happen, but you know, that's why I make my videos, because when I run into problems, they're the same problems you're going to run into. So this is just held in to the inside faucet. There's two little pieces like this that, let me see. There's two little pieces on this piece that go into a hole, kind of like this. So I just need to be able to rock this back and forth, and hopefully this breaks loose. Maybe it just breaks my whole socket. I mean, my whole, this is not good. This is definitely not good. This should just break loose. I'm pretty worried that I'm going to be flooding my house any minute. Not good, not happy. This really should just come out. Ah! This is called a cartridge, and the cartridge is stuck. There are two pins that line up, and they go into some holes in there, and it's just stuck. So the cartridge is shot. If you have a cartridge puller, you should be able to pull this out. You could probably break the cartridge. I doubt if it would matter. I'd rather not do that. But the cartridge puller, I think, goes around here and then holds on here, and it presses on the bottom while this thing pulls up. So I'm just going to spend a little bit of time trying to rock this thing back and forth because I really want to fix this without flooding my place. And I should be able to get it done. If not, then I'll just end the video. But that's what you need to do to replace this thing. If this had not been stuck, I would just remove this. Supposedly the cartridge for this is like 70 bucks or something. I don't know if that's true. Maybe cheaper nowadays. And I don't know what else to say. I do want to get this out so I can finish off the video. This is it. I took the channel locks. You can see I squeezed down really hard and I like wiggled all over the place. I figured I'm going to break this thing. I may as well do it. The washers look fine. I have no idea why the cartridge was leaking. Probably this washer over here looks terrible. And I could probably replace this, but I think I'm going to buy a new one. Is there a number on here? There is no number on here. I'm assuming this is the El Torre or whatever that is faucet, but this thing's pretty much shot. Let me show you what it looks like inside there. When I got it out, water was leaking all over the place. So I did not have the faucet completely off. And you can see water went everywhere. So make sure your faucet is totally off. The water is totally off. That looks terrible inside there. There's no washer in there, so little plastic pieces fit in there. Those are alignment holes, and this is the hot and cold water. I'm going to clean that up. I'm going to get some magnifiers and see if I can get a number off of this and purchase a new faucet cartridge, and then we'll finish the video. So let me give you some info that I found out with some research. 35 millimeters is measured from here to here. They sell a 40 millimeter that would be a little bit bigger, so you need to measure to find out which one you're getting. You also have to look at the layout down here. Some of these have, well, they all have 3, but you've got 2 over here that are really high up and 1 that is way down there, and they also sell others where all 3 of them are perfectly level. They have the holes, these little pegs. Some of these pegs, the leg is long like this. Others are very short, almost flat. You just have the little peg coming out and not the long leg. And what else? And some of these have this angle type thing, and others have an oval type thing. So the problem is that when you find these online, most of these cost anywhere from $20 to $40 with $20 shipping. And I could go to a plumbing supply place, but by that point, I'd rather just let the plumber mess with this, and if he has to, install a new thing. If I'm going to spend 40 bucks on this, it might make sense to spend a couple $100 and put a whole new thing in, or let him just go buy this thing at the place. So before I do that, probably maybe a stupid thing, because I don't want to cause a leak in here, but let's try to look at this. A lot of dirt in here. This is where it's leaking from. Because it's leaking, it's not leaking over here. Well, these things look nice. These things are fine. Sorry about the in and out focus. These things are fine, from what I can see. This looks fine, but we have a massive amount of corrosion in here. And I think that's where the problem is. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go try to clean this up. I didn't crack this. I didn't do it any good, but I didn't crack it. So I'm going to see if I can put this back in, and if it leaks, then I'll just call the plumber. So I'll be back. This only took a few seconds, so I slid the thing up. The washer looks really good. You can see all the sediment over there. That's where we've got all the dirt. So I'm going to go clean this up. I'm going to go pop this thing back in, and then I'm going to show you popping it back in the faucet, and I'm going to try to turn on the water and see if it leaks. If it leaks, then I'll just shut everything off and hire the plumber. I just cleaned up the that little O-ring as much as I could, but you can look in here and you can see there's a lot of junk in here. And I think sediment, that's probably where the ring was going, and this sediment over here is probably separating the O-ring from the fitting over here, and there could be some minor leakage there. That doesn't look that bad. I don't think those are O-rings. I think the O-rings seat against here. There's no O-ring in there. So I'm going to clean this up. I'd really love to use some CLR, but I don't know if I want to do that because this is drinking water. So I'm going to clean this up, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Okay, what I did is I did have some spray CLR, so I put it into that thing. You know, it's not good for water, but it kind of removed a little bit. You've got to be careful scraping the inside of that faucet with a sharp thing like a screwdriver, because if you gouge that metal, then it's going to leak past here. So what I noticed, let me try to find that. Where is that? I don't know if you can see that little crack over there. There's a crack over here, right in front of my nail. There's another crack on the other one. There's a crack over here. Now, I don't know if that's going to cause a problem because the water is coming straight in here and it's sealed with the O-ring. I put some CLR on here. I cleaned up this mess over here. This is not damaged that bad. I'm going to put this back in. We're going to see if it works. If it leaks, it gets shut off, and it's probably going to be cheaper for me to have the plumber replace the whole faucet for a few $100, $200-300, instead of messing around with a stupid cartridge and an old worn faucet. So let's go and put this back together. I am really not happy with this. Again, this is something I would normally not even mess with in this place, but I thought maybe I could make a video for somebody. On the side of this, it says 200715 on the cartridge, and it's just really hard to find. Most of this is, I think it's KOREX or something. Some of these are K35A, 35B, 35D, depending on the layout. There's very bad information. This thing still looks really corroded with a lot of junk. Remember I said there was an 8 over on the front? There's the 8 over there. I'm going to put this back in, except for a lot of gouging over here. I don't think I've damaged it that much. I'm going to shove this piece back in here. Why does it just come... Why does it... Remember how hard it was for me to take it out before? It might have been this O-ring and all that sediment was stuck together. Now it just pops right in place. This kind of scares me a little bit. I really don't want to flood my place. It would cost me a fortune in insurance and damage. So, all right, I just got some CLR on me, but you can see how easy this fits in here right now. How easy it goes in and out, and that's how it should be. So I'm kind of freaked out. Remember we had this piece over here? We're going to put this piece back on. Okay, why is that not going on right? Did I mess this thing up that much? Did I damage it that much? It's got a lot of damage on it. Okay, we should be okay. I don't know. I can't say... Get that seated so it doesn't move. I can't say that I'm not going to have the plumber replace this thing. I might. That's the damage that I did to the plastic. I'm trying to get this to line up. I don't want to strip the threads. I did not, when you take this out, you really want to kind of figure out how tight was it. It wasn't that tight. I guess you don't want it so tight that it's not, well, you don't want it wobbling like that. A lot of people say you got to be careful how tight you torque this thing down. Well, if you don't tighten it, then it's going to leak all over the place. I'm going to go finger tight and a little bit more. This is really tight. Maybe not so bad with the faucet. Some of these things have a screw on the top. There's a threaded opening over there. I backed off a little bit. Made it I don't know. This could splatter all over the place. But it's seated. It's not going to go anywhere. And then we put this little thing over here. So with stuff like this, you know, if you live in a condo like me, you got to be careful about flooding and damage. If you live in a house, you can probably do this stuff, and if you screw things up, well, what am I looking at right now? Oh, if you screw it up, then just tell the insurance company, oops, they probably won't cover it. Okay, this is a square thing, so I'm going to put this on there. How far down does it go? Is it going to even fit into that screw hole? God, look how bad this looks. So we're going in with the screw hole. We're going in with the tool right now. I want to see how this feels before I mess with it. Oh, it feels much better than it used to. It feels kind of loose. I'm kind of worried about that. Sorry, my hand's blocking the video again. That's fine. Let's put that back on. It feels really good, and that makes me worried now. That worries me a lot. So we're going to put this piece on here, and everything is like it was before. It's definitely wobbly. But we don't have that screw in there. Where's that long screw that I had? Oh my God, are you kidding me? Did I lose the screw? How do you lose? I'm trying to think of what screw is in there. Oh, the screw's already in there. That's right. What am I thinking? Ugh. Okay, so let's go put the 2.5. I'm kind of nervous now. That's right. This thing was in here before, so I just have to tighten it a little bit. That's really wobbly. That's scaring me. That's really scaring me a lot. I'm going to loosen this. I'm going to take this out again, and I'm just going to check this one more time. I have a feeling this is going to flood all over the house. Let me loosen this. What is wobbling? Nothing's really wobbling. I'll take this off again. I don't like that. Let me tighten that down just a fraction. I had to use the wrench before. I think that's enough. If it doesn't work, oopsity boopsity boopsity. Then I'll put this discussion on. I think that's what it's called. So a little bit of an angle. Where's that piece that I just had? And on this one, it's got the screw. Where is that? This one's got the screw built in. Some of them you might have just the hole, and you might have to push the screw into the end and then thread it down. Put the cover on. Man, is that filthy. The coating, the finish is coming off. Coating. So it might be time for a new faucet. We'll find out. Tighten that down. Yeah, that's really wobbly. That's freaking me out. I don't like that. But we'll see. And then we've got this little cover. Remember, where's the camera? You got the cover, so we're going to put the cover in here. And if this thing leaks, then, see, that I don't like that. It just might be, that's how it always was. I don't know. I don't know. Here's the big test. My battery is almost dead. Okay, I'm going to be really honest with you people. I'm kind of nervous. I'm a lot nervous. Usually I'm not nervous when I do a video. I've got a hot and a cold on the bottom. Are we leaking over here? We're still leaking. I'm going to turn on the hot. And if it leaks, we're done. Where is that? I can't even see it. I'm just reaching under the sink. The hot is on. The hot is on. And oh my God, now I get a phone call. That's how it always goes. All right, it was my mom. She wanted me to, she said, can you take me to the temple? Somebody was supposed to take me. Yes, I'm Jewish. And I said, I'm working on a faucet. I can't take you. No water's leaking out of here. And that's where, are we looking in the right place? That's where it was leaking originally. It was going all over the counter. Let me get this CLR out of the way. No more CLR. I have a dog in the house I have to be, I'm very ultra careful about. That was the toilet. No, I didn't go. I'm very careful about, so let's see. We have no water. Well, there's a lot of water that dripped over here. Let's clean this up. I know this has been a long video. Like I tell everybody with my videos, some people say thank you. I was able to do the job. You saved me $150. And they don't even ask if they can donate to my PayPal. This is like, hey, thanks for saving me $100. Like, yeah, you're welcome. Some people thank me, other people say it was a good video and there were too many ads in there and they're really pissed off. And yeah, you just don't know. So I got that thing cleaned up. No water's leaking over here. Let's turn it on and see what happens. Oh my gosh, am I nervous. I'm so nervous. If this thing leaks, this is going to cost me thousands of dollars in flood. So far we have an ow. That's the CLR. Burning my hand. So we have, we're doing good so far. That's the hot water. I'm going to go under the sink and I'm going to turn on the cold water. We're going to get a lot more pressure and then we're going to see if we have a leak. If you're a guy, you never want to have a leak. If you're a woman, you don't want to have a leak. Alright, no comments. Don't be rude. Where's the hot water valve? Here we go. Please don't. Oh my god, that's under the sink. I can't do it. I'm worried now. Hold on. Panicking. I got the cold water on, and I'm kind of nervous because it took forever. The valve, for some reason, it's a quarter turn, and it didn't want to open. We have any leakage over here? We have no leakage over here. We have any leakage down here? We have no leakage down here. You can see all the stuff. You can see the CLR in the sink right there. That's the CLR in the sink, all foaming up. And I'm going to go under the sink with a piece of toilet paper, toiletto paper, and I'm going to put it on underneath the valves. Oh, let's see if I feel any water. The faucet's hot, very hot. There's no moisture. Don't say moisture around a woman. There's no moisture on the on the toilet paper piece. No moisture coming off of either hot or cold valve under the sink. So that's a good sign right over there. No moisture. We've got most of the foaming is gone. Saying all these things you don't want to say. Moisture, foaming. I'm going to do one last thing. I'm going to come back up over here. There's no water over here. Now there's no guarantee that this is going to work. You did see there were 2 cracks, but they should be safe. On the sediment, I have no water dripping out of here, and that's what was happening before. And I'm going to turn off the faucet right now. Well, let's go look down at the sink. The drain is draining really slow. Oh boy. And no more leakage. Well, there might be some leakage. Oh, I shouldn't say leakage and moisture. What am I doing? Okay, so the sink is draining really slow. But I think we're good. That fixed it. At least it fixed it for now. I've saved myself a few $100s. Maybe $80, $60 for the part. Maybe $100 and some dollars for the plumber to come out here. I still might replace this thing. It's going to get me through the night. And through the weekend, and then I'll ask him how much something like this costs. But I think right now we're good. So thanks for watching my video. Sorry it was too long. But I'll put a ton of ads on there to compensate myself since nobody donates to my PayPal. And be nice with the comments. Remember, we can report those to YouTube now. And I do hope this helps whoever tries this. If you're in a condo or apartment, I wouldn't mess with this. I don't know why I did except to help somebody with a video. And if you're in a house, it's not the end of the world, but if you're going to mess with all this, it might just make sense to replace the whole thing, a few $100s, but it's only money, right? No leakage here at all. It definitely fixed it. And with that, I'm going to get a little bit of soap. I'm going to wash the hands. Hygiene is really important. Hygiene, moisture, leakage, and it only required a 2.5 millimeter Allen head and a screwdriver to remove your tip, and a little wrench to take off that knobby, and you might have to put a pair of gloves on to get some friction. Oh, there's another word, friction. Friction to remove this piece over here. And, oh, this works really nice. It works a lot better than it used to, which really kind of scares me again. And that's going to be the video. I'm going to go post this thing right now. Some of these things might be an American standard, maybe a Moen 4000 single handle replacement, a Danzy. What else do we have? The company that keeps showing up is KEROX, K35A, 35 millimeter faucet cartridge. 40 millimeter cartridge, long knobs, short knobs, and as I said, the 3 openings completely flush, or the 2 openings flush, and the 3rd opening, there's an opening, all these words, and the 3rd opening not flush. It's kind of sunk in a little bit. Some of these things have a thread on the top of the blue part, and others don't have a thread. Some of them have a screw on the top, and others don't. If yours has a screw and your replacement doesn't, then take out the screw and put it in the new one. And check, if you're going to buy this stuff, try to find a plumbing house if you're going to do it. Everybody on the internet wants to charge you $20 in shipping and $10 in tax, and all of that ends up costing you almost as much as the part. Good luck, everybody.